Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. I wish I had a nickname for you. I'm going to find it. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Great. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, Audrey. How are you?
It's good to have you in here all
Yeah,
the
Dr.
time.
Abati, what was your nickname in university?
No, Great Malabite. All right, then. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, British-born Nigerian activist and lawyer Dr. Shola Moshobamimu criticized Prince William for the manner in which he condemned the racial abuse aimed at England's footballers Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka after the Euro 2020 final. She said Prince William's words would have been legitimate if he was vocally and visibly against the racial abuse thrown at the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. In Haiti, 63-year-old Haitian-born Florida resident Christian Emmanuel Sanon, a self-acclaimed doctor who was arrested on Sunday as the lead suspect in the assassination of the country's 48-year-old president Jovenel Moïse last week, is alleged to have been plotting to assume presidency and told authorities that he was sent by God to carry out the assassination. In Cuba, thousands of citizens took to the streets to protest against economic hardship in the country and called for the resignation of President Miguel Diaz-Canel. The protest, which is touted as one of the biggest in the country's history, started on Sunday in San Antonio de los Banos and Palma, Soriano. In South Africa, the National Defense Force has deployed soldiers in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal provinces to assist law enforcement in their effort to calm the ongoing arrest, which erupted after the jailing of the country's former president, Jacob Zuma. In Nigeria, a video of controversial Catholic priest, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, calling for the unconditional release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, during a sermon on Sunday at his ministry, has made the round.
That the arrest of Nnamdi does not solve any problem. Rather, it aggravates more problem.
Under sports, Nigeria's D-Tigers, in another stunning game, defeated the world's fourth best basketball team, Argentina, 94-71 on Monday. It is their second win after they stunned the U.S. male basketball team 90-87 in a pre-Olympic exhibition game over the weekend. And 23-time Grand Slam singles title holder Serena Williams dropped out of the WTA top 10 for the first time in more than 2 years when the new rankings were released on Monday. The 39-year-old dropped 8 places to number 16 in the world, making it her lowest ranking since January 2019. Finally, under entertainment, embattled actor and comedian Bill Cosby celebrated his 84th birthday as a free man on Monday and thanked his fans for supporting and fighting for his freedom. This is coming a day after the Pennsylvania District Attorney slammed the state's Supreme Court for prosecuting the comedian, who has been fighting for his reputation.
Well, let's begin what's trending in Kaduna State with reactions to the release of the Emir of Kajuru, Alhaji Alhassan Adamu, who on Sunday was kidnapped by bandits along with 13 other members of his family. On Monday, hundreds of residents of Kajuru local government area of the state trooped out to catch a glimpse of the Emir after he was released by the bandits. The bandits on Sunday had requested a ransom payment of 200 million naira for his release.
I'm thanking God for his safe return. Let us pray that others who are still in captivity will be released as well.
Well, we thank God for his release, Rufai. I believe 13 other members of his family are still held in captivity by the bandits. I mean, the ransom payment, no one knows if that was paid for his release. But it appears that the bandits in Kaduna State especially are going on a rampage, kidnapping the emir, I mean, it is ridiculous.
Are we supposed to be happy, Alhaji? Yeah, we are happy for the fact that it's released. We thank God. But are we supposed to be thanking God that in a country that has the military and security paraphernalia, the biggest black nation on earth, an emir of a community is kidnapped and released as a result of the benevolence of a bunch of people called bandits that hold guns that the state has not been able to stop? Are we supposed to be happy? That is what Nigeria has become. And that's why everybody must come out to do what is right in this country, to bring a stop to all of this. It's obvious that bandits now run amok in Kaduna. Yesterday, we had some Shehu Sani here that says only 2 local governments in Kaduna that is safe. But is that supposed to be the country we live in? That the sovereignty of the country is threatened by banditry? I mean, Nigeria's sovereignty has been threatened by banditry for the fact that Section 14, subsection 2B says the protection security of the lives of the people is as a result is in the hands of the government, and they can protect lives and people can be taken from their homes and kidnapped. And now we start to celebrate the return out of the magnanimity of heart of bandits because somebody else is carrying a gun and they inflict pain on people. Is that the Nigeria we truly want? Is that the Nigeria we all fought for? You know, when the rights struggle, democracy struggle happened in the early 90s, is that the Nigeria we all envisaged? I want you to go back in time and hear the campaign rhetoric of MKO Abiola and look at the Nigeria we have today and ask, is this democracy really fighting for the rights of the people? I'm sad. I'm not happy about this.
Dr. Bati, your comment.
Well, what this shows clearly is that nobody is safe. The other day we were, anxious, we were disturbed, we were alarmed when we saw children in an Islamia school abducted by bandits. Now the latest story is that of an emir, the emir of Kajuru, also in Kaduna State. So whether you are an emir or you are a teacher or you are a toddler attending an Islamia school or you are a student of Bethel Baptist School, over 100 students of that Bethel Baptist School, they are still, with kidnappers, with their abductors in very difficult circumstances.
Or whether you're a baby in a hospital.
Yes, and now here you have this emir. Yes, they've released him, but even that release is nothing to jubilate about. He still has 13 members of his household who are still with those kidnappers. One story indicated that he's been released so that he could go and look for the 200 million ransom that they are asking for. But let us just hope that the relevant security agencies will engage him, will try to, find out from him some useful information that may perhaps in this instance lead to the apprehension of those bandits. Because these bandits, they get bolder every day because the business appears to be very lucrative. Where would they have the incentive from, to deter, to desist from what they're doing if all the time they get paid and they do it and nobody apprehends them? The security agencies just must step up. It's not enough for us to say, thank God one person has been released. The Nigeria Security Tracker of the Council of Foreign Relations, which we quoted yesterday, indicated that this year alone, over 1,000 people have been abducted in Nigeria, and that's a lot. Even if it is one person that is abducted, the implications of it would seem not to be something anybody should be cheerful about.
Very well said. We'll take another story. Chidinma Ojukwu, the 21-year-old student of the University of Lagos who confessed to killing a television executive, Michael Usufo Ataga, in a new video now circulating on social media, denied killing the television executive just weeks after claiming responsibility for his death. Chidinma alleged in the video that the fear of being arrested by the police informed her decision not to report the incident before she left the apartment where she had claimed she stabbed Usufo Ataga twice in the neck, leading to his death. Well, let's take a quick listen to this new confession before we come back for a discussion.
I didn't involve anybody I don't know who must have come into the apartment. Definitely somebody did that, but I don't know who that person is. I don't know what happened when I left to buy the food. I don't know. Because of the thing I did after not alerting police and then also withdrawing money, I feel guilty for what happened. I did not kill him. Knowing for whether I did not kill him, but my doing, taking his money and not reporting the police, I believe that somebody knew where we were and then waited till I left before they could enter. The pressure and people, when I was confronting security guy, and it was like, no, nobody entered into the apartment, that it was just me that entered into the apartment. And knowing full well what I did, withdrawing his money, I just took the blame on myself that since no one believes, let me just take it. No one is influencing my statements. I've not spoken to anybody, my relation or anybody. I've just been in the self since.
Rufai, you were asking me earlier if this young girl was deceiving people or but I really believe that she might be suffering from something else that we don't know. Maybe some sort of mental instability, nobody knows. But it does appear that something else is going on that is bigger than we actually can see.
It's obvious, and that's why I said let's stop talking to Chidinma. The police should go and do their investigation, because it's looking like the police have bungled this case. She was arrested. She confessed to the crime. She said she stabbed him, gave us circumstances at which she stabbed him because he was trying to come on her. Now, on a police-sponsored show, Crime Fighters, she's saying otherwise that she walked out. And they've got fantastic camera angles for her. And coupled with that, she's sporting a new hairstyle. The former hairstyle was a gel. Now she's done her hair. Is it in prison cell that they do their hair? Do they give them manicure and pedicure in prison cell? Coupled with that, she's changed her clothes. And everything is touched up. Fantastic hairstyle, good PR. I mean, there's makeup too on her. This is somebody in prison cell. She was even giggling and laughing. And now she went further to say that nobody is telling me to talk like this and all of that. There is something that is more than meets the eye. And she's getting a lot of press interviews. Because you see, Oji, let me tell you what, media is powerful. And what I am seeing from this is a lot of young people coming up next. Young people will obviously say it is good to murder other people. We've made Chidinma a celebrity murderer. That's what it means. I know she's not found guilty unless the court says so. But somebody that has alleged to have done this or that have confessed to it should not be given this kind of publicity, because we made her a celebrity murderer. A young child growing up the next morning now will say, oh, that means I can kill somebody and become a celebrity. Because you know it, when all of this ends, Chidinma will have a big Instagram following. She's a star on her own. What is she a star for? Alleged murder. Is that the society we're building? Please, the police should do their work and stop all of this media, whatever, and let the court take its course, please. Because a lot of cases are pending that people forget. The Inyo Moran case, that's how they gave us a suspect to confess to the killing. What has the man been charged to court? We have no details of how are the proceedings going. What is happening? What kind of society are we building?
I agree with you, Rufai. Dr. Abati, your analysis.
Well, what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with a case of murder, homicide. Now, I believe that, there will be standard procedure, operating procedure, how you ensure that justice is done. And the question I asked when I, see the video is that, okay, is the Lagos State Police Command now producing a soap opera, around the Ataga murder case? Because, if indeed this is a case of homicide, as has been established, it is for the police to do their professional work and not provide an opportunity for trial by media. This is being put out, papers reported the story and all of that. And even the Commissioner of Police of Lagos was quoted as saying that, what the lady is now saying is an afterthought. Now, is that part of the job of the police commissioner, to be arriving at such conclusions? a murder case or any case at all will be, prosecuted on the basis of evidence. So if they have evidence, if they have, done their work, they've done due diligence, then the thing to do is to ensure that that all the parties involved have their day in court. At a point, we were told that, there were some other persons involved and they were trailing those persons. Where are they going with that? The appropriate place to go is the court of law for the evidence to be, assessed, for the prosecution to present its case, for the defense to present its case. So enough of this soap opera. It may be entertaining for some people, but I do not think that this is a standard procedure.
Very well said. We'll take another story. Reactions have trailed the decision of the federal government to earmark 4.8 billion naira for the National Intelligence Agency to monitor WhatsApp and Thuria, a satellite telephone. Reports indicate that the provision was contained in the supplementary 2021 budget passed by the National Assembly, which is meant to boost military operations and to facilitate the procurement of COVID-19 vaccine, while many Nigerians have decried the move, accusing the federal government of complete censorship. Dr. Bati, I'll come to you to the story because I know that you discussed it earlier on the newspaper review. But my issue with this is that, yes, there is that headline that appears that it's 4.8 billion naira that is allocated just for that. We do have to read the whole instruction. On Business News, though, the newspaper, broke down the figures. So of the figure, 1.93 billion was earmarked for WhatsApp interception, right? And then 2.93 billion was for the Thuria phone. Yesterday, we took that story about the police key tracking equipment missing. I mean, if these types of money is being budgeted for the National Intelligence Agency and nothing is being shown for it, it's a big problem. And that's why a lot of people are outraged at this point.
Well, as I said earlier, when this story came up in the during the newspaper review, I said, one, we need to know the context.
Yes.
The National Intelligence Agency, the NIA, is involved espionage and intelligence gathering for purposes of national security, part of ensuring that Nigeria is safe, and that information that is that they gather, they use it for Nigeria. Now, this particular budget, I made the point, is also a budget, a supplementary budget, focusing on security and COVID-19. And it's not only the NIA that got part of that has an allocation under that supplementary budget. I mentioned other security agencies, the Air Force, the police, and all of that. So in terms of this breakdown, I also made a point that I'm not too sure that part of the work of the NIA includes police work, because the concern is that, the NIA has been given so much money so that NIA will be monitoring phones and communications and all of that. No, it has its own particular mandate. That is not police work, that is not DSS work, so we don't know the exact context in which this has been budgeted for. However, security infrastructure, we've always said, is important. The police, they complain all the time. They don't have enough infrastructure, they don't have tools to be able to do their work. The Nigerian Air Force also got part of it. Other agencies also got part of it. But beyond money, which is something that people talk about all the time, all of these security provisions, we would like to see concrete evidence in terms of how there is improved security in Nigeria, across our borders, within our borders, at home, and internationally, so that the average Nigerian can feel that, well, all these expenditures are justifiable, have been justified, and have been used for the purpose of achieving the objective of ensuring that the primary responsibility of government is indeed the security and welfare of the people, as is clearly stated in the Nigerian Constitution. Yeah. That, for me, is the issue. But this breakdown, this line-by-line item, you can interrogate it and find out, but I keep saying that a body like the NIA, will only monitor persons that are classified as persons of interest.
And not the general public.
And their province of operation is basically international.
So it doesn't fall under the actual general WhatsApp or information that we all share.
I doubt.
Which is what
if it is internal security, that would be the job of maybe the intelligence arm of the police or the Department of State Services.
And so my point has always been this. The truth has to be said. In a climate like this, you have seen many attempts to stifle free speech.
Yes.
You have seen Twitter. The ban. Now Nigerians have even forgotten that Twitter is banned and the likes.
Banned.
We've seen the fact that people were going to they were picked up from their homes after the protests. There's always a fear that this will be to monitor and inspire the
Absolutely.
people. And it shouldn't be that for the citizenry. Who I want them to go and monitor are the bandits. You know, it's shocking. Somebody that escaped a bandit attack said that he even went ahead to give police officers the phone number of the bandits, but they can't track them. How is it that parents communicate with bandits and police officers can't take that phone number to track the bandits where they are?
That's a conversation
I mean, there
online,
is something, there's a technology that helps a lot of people from the mast to detect the location of people that are with the phones. So let's look at that.
All right, then we'll take our final story. A bizarre video now making the rounds on social media captured the moment a masquerade was seen dancing inside a Catholic church. This video has provoked a major argument amongst many Nigerians, of whom are wondering if the church was the right venue for a masquerade to entertain. Well, let's take a quick look at the video before we come back for a discussion. But is the church the right place for a masquerade to entertain? I mean, that's my question for you.
Well, you know, the usual thing is to dismiss African traditional religion as paganism, heathenism, spiritism, and see it as inferior to the church as we know it. But with the Catholic Church, since the Second Vatican Council in 1962 and the 1994 First Synod in Africa, and the 2009 Synod in Africa, has always been trying to walk a fine line, a balanced line between African traditional religion and Catholicism. And it was after the Second Vatican Council that they started allowing the use of drums inside the Catholic Church, that local languages were now allowed inside the church, and there's some form of modification. So what you find is, the Catholics call it inculturation, as a way of ensuring that the African identity is maintained and that it is easier, to win more souls for Christ by trying to understand the identity of the people and how their mind works. It's a long thing to talk about, but we don't have time.
Oh, well, you can have like a few seconds quickly.
You need to see the groove. Even the priests were grooving.
That was what got me. How is it that the priests are dancing to the masquerades? Well, I'm a Catholic, so I mean, I'm not sure if this is the right place for a masquerade to entertain.
Yeah, but it's fine. Because in any case, people go to church and in the evenings, they go and see their herbalists. So the church tries to balance it.
Well, anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.